eDoctrina's Student Learning Objectives tool allows districts to manage state requirements much simpler. To create a new SLO, you'll navigate to the SLO's main button from the home screen. I'll click on this gold Insert button directly below the Student Learning Objectives heading. This is going to open my SLO editor. My first step is my General tab, where I'll fill in mandatory information like the subject, grade, and type of SLO I'm creating. The SLOs can be customized to fit the needs of your school or district. You can also create multiple SLO models. You will enter in your information into the predetermined fields. For interval, I would say 2015 to 2016 school year. If you have a progress monitoring plan in place, you can enter it here. You'll also enter your rationale over to the right. From there, you'd move on through the editor. Next, I would link myself by dragging and dropping from the right-hand side to the left. The next section of the SLO is where you would add your learning content. Here in the description section, you can explain the standards you used on the assessments that are included in this SLO. Below the description is where you can actually link your standards so they are tied to your SLO. You can link standards by searching through the standards filters, finding the standard you'd like to include, clicking, dragging, and dropping over to the left. You also have the ability to use a highlight mode. This allows you to highlight certain sections of the standard so you can indicate which portion you used in the SLO. Following the linking of standards is where you would enter your baseline data information. You can describe the assessment you used here. If your assessment is already created in eDoctrina, you're able to link it onto your SLO. This will then automatically populate your baseline data, which will be shown in a minute. After linking your baseline or your pre-assessment, you would scroll on down past the evidence assessment, since that won't be added until later, until you arrive at the population section. Here's where you will link your students to the SLO. You'll filter for your students on the right-hand side, first by selecting your school and the course and class. From those filters, you can choose to select all students to drag and drop onto the SLO. As you can see, since there's already data for the assessment that I've linked for these students, the baseline column automatically populates. Next, the teachers can use the target setting tools above the population list to choose how they want to set their targets. We have several options for this section, and we can also customize to fit the needs of your district. Perhaps I want all of my students to grow by 5%. I'll select Common Growth, enter 5, and apply this to all of my selected students. This will then automatically populate the target score for each student, raising their score by 5%. At the end of the school year, when it's time for teachers to enter in their evidence data, they would reopen their SLO, navigate to the evidence section, describe the test they're using. Again, if it was created in eDoctrina, they can simply link it here. I'll link my end of unit assessment. And once I scroll down to my population section, I'll see that my final scores have automatically populated. The last column on the right-hand side, the achieved section, will let me know which students reached their goal and which students did not. If I scroll to the end of my population, I'm able to see that 19 students met my target, 9 missed, putting me at a rating of effective for 13 points. I can also see that eDoctrina automatically scores on my heady table below. Again, this is just a quick glimpse into the SLO options offered in eDoctrina. Please know we are happy to work with your district to customize this tool to fit your needs.